LSG versus KKR is turning out to be quite an interesting rivalry. More so after Gautam Gambhir moved from the LSG camp to being mentor of KKR. So when KKR goes back to Lucknow this evening, Gautam will know what the team is all about. Gautam will know the conditions at the Ekana. Gautam will know that, okay, this is one rivalry that he will want to win. On the other hand, even the LSG defense, led by Justin Langer, will know how Gautam thinks, what they need to do and stop KKR. At home, they have played well. Winning against Mumbai the other night thanks to Marcus Stoinis, they have also proved a point, and despite the absence of Mayank Yadav, who has now been ruled out of the IPL due to an abdominal tear, LSG are very much in the reckoning for a playoff spot. In fact, if they make the playoff spot, they will be the only team that has made the playoffs 3 out of 3, with Gujarat Titans not looking really good in this particular season. Both teams have some great players, really great players to make a difference, while Sunil Narayan has been in stellar form and Phil Salt is adding a lot of salt at the top. For LSG, Marcus Stoinis has been in his best form in the IPL. KL Rahul too is showing signs of a comeback, and that will be good signs for LSG. Even someone like a Quinton de Kock is finding it difficult to get a space in the starting 11, which shows the depth of talent that at this point in time the LSG squad has. So in every sense, this will be quite a matchup. We had the opportunity of speaking to players from both sides. We spoke to Marcus Stoinis and Quinton de Kock, and we also spoke to Gautam Gambhir and Venkatesh Iyer. Listen to each of them as we set up this rivalry for you.
I think obviously we've got one thing, we've got a really balanced team. We've got a lot of options whether we're batting or bowling. I think the key thing we try and do is just keep things simple as possible. Just try and do the best at the basics. That's pretty much all we just try and do. We don't try and reinvent the wheel. So that's pretty much it. I think it's nice to have a lot of options around, especially our bowling lineup. I think our batting lineup is quite settled. And in a bowling lineup, it's nice to have the extra 1 or 2 options. It's just always nice to have. Especially when someone's having a bad day with the ball, then there could be a guy who can bowl an extra over or 2. A different extra skill set, so it's just always nice having those extra options. Look, we've made the playoffs the first 2 years of the tournament of Lucknow's RPL career. For us to win it this year, I think will be an awesome thing, especially the guys who have been here for all the 3 years. I think last year's loss in the playoff, or semi, I think it was playoff, was quite. I heard quite a bit of the guys because we also once again had a lot of confidence going into that game, thinking we could win it and then go to the final and win that game. But yeah, unfortunately, it didn't happen. And yeah, now we're stuck here in 2024, starting from the beginning and trying to redo the whole thing over again and actually trying to win it.
I think we have a great team this season. Obviously, with Shreyas Iyer coming back as our captain and again solidifies our batting lineup, and with the signing of Mitchell Starc, I think who's amazing with the new ball and at the death. I think KKR looks very strong this season, and we are hoping to have a crackerjack this season. Yeah, it's very inspirational, and I'm really grateful and fortunate that I am able to share dressing room with a legend like Gautam Gambhir sir. What he has done not just for KKR, but the impact that he has created in Indian cricket and world cricket, to be honest, is nothing short of amazing. What he has done for the game is something that inspires us to go and play this game. And he's such a team person. The words that he speaks to players ooze confidence, and listening to him, talking to him after the end of that conversation, you feel like you're ready for the battle. You're ready to go out there and win against any opposition in the world. Such is the impact that he has created. And he is also an amazing tactician, the sharp brain, and he's always spoken about creating an impact rather than individual milestones, and that is something that stands out in Gautam Gambhir's approach towards the game.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a bit different for me because every time I come on to bowl, they're targeting me anyway. So I think that mindset that might be applied to the all-rounder or the sixth bowling option in the team is now being applied more consistently throughout every bowler that comes onto play. So I think that's been part of it. I also think, I read a tweet from Dale Steyn, what a great time to be a bowler, because if you can learn to adapt your game and to bowl well in these conditions when teams are batting like this, you've set yourself apart from everyone. So I think as a bowler, this is also your chance to make a name for yourself. Yeah, so it's fortunate for me, I've known Justin for a long time. And then the coaching style that he's had here, we're fortunate enough to have a group of good coaches. We've got Adam Voges from Western Australia as well, Mornay Morkel, Lance Klusner, Jonty Rhodes, Shri, who's been with us for yes. So it's been a collaborative approach. I think everyone's been leaning on each other to get the right information and then communicate that to the players in their own way, around training, after games less so. So it's been a collaborative approach from the coaching staff. Justin's a great man manager and organiser. He's one of the most organised and passionate coaches / ex-players that there's been. So nothing gets left to chance. And then working with his team has been great. I'd usually be thinking, so say the 50 runs off the 3 overs, you usually know that the strike bowler will probably not bowl the last over. They usually the captain brings them to the 19th or the 18th. So that'll be part of my thinking is how many I need to get off that bowler with less risk. And I'll usually try and personally take the game when it's always going to be in the last over when it's 50 runs. And my thinking is take the game to a position where the bowler is at least as nervous as I am. The bowler is doubting himself, and take them to a position where the captain's running over and giving advice, the fielders are running in, and try and see that dynamic change in the game. Because I know then that's when I can lean on my experience. I know that I enjoy the pressure and all those sort of things. So I try to get the game into that situation and know that the odds of me getting the ball I want or me being able to stay still and get the half volley, all that sort of thing, I think they're going up in my favour.
I don't think so. A lot of people have experienced what I've experienced, which is probably starting 2014 IPL with 3 ducks. It can't get worse than that for anyone. So probably that is extreme pressure. Pressure is not when I was playing Pakistan in 2007 because I had runs under my belt. Pressure was not when I was playing Sri Lanka in 2011. I still had runs behind my back. But then imagine starting 2014 IPL, that also in Dubai, where you start the first 3 games with a duck and then you scored 1 in the 4th game. And I remember we were staying at Ritz-Carlton. And obviously when I scored my 3rd duck and we were just probably roaming around and a lot of people were talking about my form and stuff. And I remember telling them that you should not even talk about my form because I don't even know what kind of a form I am in, because I've literally faced 5 or 6 deliveries in 3 games. The form is when you struggle for 20 or 30 balls and you're not able to hit the ball in the middle. And the only time I've probably, as a captain in KKR, and I have no shame, I've never, the only time I actually probably in my 7 years of KKR captaincy where I felt ashamed of myself as a leader was when I actually in the 4th game promoted Manish Pandey to open the batting, and I batted at number 3 because he was scoring runs at number 3 and I wasn't. I did not even score a run, and he got a duck and I got 1. And I remember going back to Trevor Bayliss and telling him that I think it's time for me to drop myself. And he said that why? I said because I think this is the first time as a leader I'm ashamed of myself that I was trying to probably protect myself. A leader does not protect himself. I think a leader is someone who should be the first one taking the bullet, not probably sending someone else to take a bullet. And then he said, give yourself 1 more game. And I remember I was in absolute extreme pressure. We were playing against Rajasthan Royals, 5th game, and me and Bisla opening the batting, and Bisla came to me and told me that, can I face the first ball? I said, irrespective of what happens, I think I'm going to face the first ball. I'm absolutely ashamed of myself, what I did in the previous game. Today is the day where I'm going to face the first ball, whatever happens. And that was the only time where I was in extreme pressure, and I promised myself that I'm going to still look to hit the ball. First ball, it was Kane Richardson I smashed it for 4. So that is what is called mental strength. I did not have that one game before that, but yes, because I was so ashamed of myself, I could not sleep the whole night for whatever I did as a leader. But the next day, I promised myself before the next game that irrespective, I'm going to still look to hit the first ball if it's in my area, and I'm going to back myself. So what? If I don't score runs, the worst thing that can happen is I will drop myself as a leader, and that I should be absolutely capable of doing it.